Of chaos outside court. We just want to get in here with Patricia Diddle.
Can I just, excuse me, Minister, just that some kind of from the SABC would just like to join in your readiness to be a witness within this fraud and corruption case of former President Zuma.
Yes, certainly, Samkela, after 22 years, we've all been waiting for this day so that South Africans can hear the truth. And President Jacob Zuma, former president, can also have an opportunity to state his side of the case. I've put my faith in the judiciary. I know that the judiciary will do what they must do. They are independent. But, 22 years is a very long time. So waiting another week until the 26th, it's not a problem for me.
What are some of the compelling, not to reveal your testimony inside court, but what are some of the compelling evidence that you are going to bring to this court? If you can share a little glimpse of it to us, to the nation, please.
Well, first of all, the document that contained all the allegations of corruption were handed to me. And I've always maintained that all of the allegations in the document must be investigated. And so far we've seen 2 people have been prosecuted based on the allegations contained in that document, and that is Tony Ngeni and Shabir Sheikh. I also gave evidence to in the Shabir Sheikh trial. And now, of course, the implication of former President Jacob Zuma, those allegations contained in the little dossier must also be tested.
Tony Ngeni, who was also sent to prison for that bribery of that Mercedes-Benz,
yes,
is here to support the former president. And Shabir Sheikh has also been successfully convicted. The significance of having someone who's been charged and sent to jail supporting former president like Tony Ngeni, what do you have to say about that?
Well, honestly, I feel that there are a lot more people implicated in this arms deal, and that really Tony Ngeni and former President Jacob Zuma can be seen as the fall guys in some way. But, he has democratic right to support whoever he wants to come and support.
The Sariti Commission, the judge within that commission,
yes,
is now being sent to a review and
yes,
an inquiry against him. Do you feel that the Security Commission was a whitewash and he played a pivotal part in it?
I think it was a disgrace. Yeah, just looking at the terms of reference of the Commission, it was a predetermined outcome right from the beginning. In the terms of reference, Judge Willie Sariti were requested as part of the terms of reference to report to Jacob Zuma every 6 months. While he's implicated on that, so I knew it was going to be a whitewash. 158 million rand down the drain. I think South Africans need to demand it to get our money back.
How did you feel when you saw him sitting in the dock and he will be pleading next week?
Well, you know what? I've not known him personally, but I've worked with him before. And I do have respect for former President Jacob Zuma. I just feel that, like all South Africans, we are equal before the law. And that when we get to court, your position doesn't really matter. And that you have to answer. Because, it will send out a strong message to all South Africans, irrespective of your position, that we are equal before the law. So I'm glad that finally, former President Jacob Zuma is going to have an opportunity to state his case of this side of the case.
Did you ever think this day would ever come?
I must be honest, I've given up after 22 years. Seeing all the shenanigans around the case and all the court cases and the waste of taxpayers' money. But I'm very, very relieved that we're finally here for it to begin.
Thank you very much, Minister.
Thank you. If I could also just ask you to join us on this side. So you said that you've given up, and it was an interesting statement there at the end that I caught. But at the same time, you also said that you are excited to have the trial get going.
Yeah.
What does that mean for your mindset going into this trial?
What it really meant for me was over the past 22 years, there were many an occasion when you looked around you and you saw all the appeals. Starting with Shabir Sheikh, I gave evidence against him with the late Judge Hilary Squires. And then Shabir Sheikh then was found guilty. He then went to the Supreme Court of Appeal and from there to the Constitutional Court. which meant then that the law dossier became part of the record of the Supreme Court of Appeal and the Constitutional Court. And therefore, I'm here today as the first witness. But I'm just relieved because South Africans deserve to know the truth. Yes.
Beyond this case, how much of what transpires here has a direct effect on our democracy?
You know, the arms deal is a litmus test for our democracy. If we had acted in 1999 and sent out a very strong signal that corruption will not be tolerated, instead what happened in 1999, they shot the messengers, myself, Andrew Feinstein, Gavin Woods and people like that. And then after the government's defense of the corruption, it was just then became a free-for-all. That's why we have corruption as a pandemic today, because we didn't act in 1999.
Thank you very much.
I remember there was an address that you gave.
That is Patricia DeLille there, just sharing some of her thoughts on this case. One of the important things coming out of that is that she's saying that as much as she has given up almost after all of these years, she is also quite glad that it is finally going to get underway. We're just monitoring this front entrance now to see when the former president will be walking out, and he will be heading out to greet those supporters and obviously address them after his appearance today.
To walk out, you'll